If tons of people that get bullied don't commit suicide, what does that mean? Whose fault is it? Who's to blame for the pain that the suicide victims cause to their loved ones? It's certainly not the bullies. It can't be. Life's hard, so suck it up, buttercup. All that the bullies did was weed out the weaklings. Because I for sure know bullying made me a stronger person. Don't get me wrong, put me in a room with one of my bullies, and if I'm not in a forgiving mood, only one of us is coming out alive. But still, thank you for showing me who I really am. I didn't know what I was capable of. Sadly, others decided to take the easy way out. The cowards, the quitters. Pain, suffering are around every corner, and I know it's a cliche to say this, but there are literally millions of people who are going through worse than you right now and have a better attitude. I don't know what you have to do to make the pain go away, since maybe you don't have to do anything. You just have to endure. Absorb all the negativity and turn it into something positive. You can't let all the bullcrap you went through be in vain. An abused child by their parents turned into the most loving parent. A bullied child turned into an adult who fights against bullies. I know you don't want to be made strong. You just want to live in peace, but these are the cards that you were dealt with, and you must do something with them. For example, me, I know for sure that if I was disciplined, sober, meditated, exercised, trained martial arts, and stayed away from junk food and pornography at the time, I would have handled bullying much better. I was already a weak person, not only physically but mentally and emotionally, and I could not handle what was coming my way. Those moments were a wake-up call. However, I crumbled under the pressure. Don't worry, the bullies will pay for what they've done one way or another without us lifting a finger. God will make sure of that. Yet, at the same time, He used those wolves to make His sheep stronger. You can just leave, like I did multiple times. You don't have to kill yourself. There are other options. But if you can't leave, you're not allowed to quit. You're allowed to defend yourself. Maybe that's the skill that God wants you to learn. You don't know how learning to defend yourself physically, verbally, emotionally, and mentally will come into use in the future. If I wasn't so verbally attacked in my personal life while growing up, I would have not ruminated about it every day, thinking what I should have said at the time, pointing out the flaws in their rationale, thus making me a persuasive critical writer. I'm turning their negativity into positivity. How can you do the same if you're dead? You're like a child complaining that she has to do the dishes. Get up and fight. You're strong enough. You're choosing not to be. We're all made from the same stuff. We just end up making different choices. Once, I was going to slit my own throat. I had the knife pressed against my neck, but I couldn't do it. I pressed the knife again, even harder, and told myself, this is why your life is the way it is, because you're a coward. Just do it already. But I didn't, because something in me knew this is not how my story ends. Maybe you have to be a stubborn jerk like me to not let the bastards grind you down, but that's it, isn't it? We're letting people dictate our self-worth instead of getting mad at them, not us, and doing something about it. Success is the best revenge. I'm tired of seeing bullying victims become lazy, fat, and afraid of the world. They can't win, brothers and sisters, they cannot. Don't let them. The worst nightmare of your enemies will come true. Joseph's brothers sold him off to slavery because they didn't want him to rule over them, making it so Joseph landed in the land that would make him rule over them. The Pharisees didn't want Jesus to take away their power, so they had him killed, making it so he resurrected, thus giving him all the power. How can you get the same fate if you're dead? You're dead by your own hands, not theirs. Which makes it even worse.